Yes.
Previously on Tales from the Cosmic Well. Viv,
Mm.
Tassles, and Clyde, joined by Belnora guards Bash and Tan, finally reached the Reaver camp where Captain Ayla and Sergeant Hicks were being held captive. Clyde and Tan tried to sneak up to the camp together, intel, but the chieftain of the Reavers, Rithus, yelled out that the presence of the heroes of Belnora was well known. Rithus issued a challenge to the group they could fight him and his personal guard, a dragonborn named Pel, on even ground without interference from the larger Reaver force. As it turns out, Rithus was no stranger to Clyde Wonderspice. After seeing the chieftain, Clyde remembered his last day with his family as a child and the man who burned his house and killed his mother, father, sister, and brother. With this newfound vendetta in mind, the heroes accepted the challenge and scraped through a tough fight to destroy Rithus and Pel. After their narrow victory was achieved, the gang found out why the Reavers were in this area. They were digging in a nearby cave to find a kind of artifact. Metal rods with symbols
Bunker
at their
coins.
ends. just a surplus of bunker coin. These symbols match those on the box that you guys found, that the heroes found in Garrett's Gate when they thwarted the Red Company. Brings us to where we are now.
Wow.
Descending the crag that saw the momentous defeat of Rithus, chieftain of the Reavers, mere moments ago. The three of you are joined now by Captain Ayla and Sergeant Hicks, as well as your new buddies, Bash and Tan. TM, it's a spin-off. Talk to TNT.
Yeah.
I got it. It's in the works. Show's in the works. Bash has one of the retreating Reavers over his shoulder, and he beams with pride as he explains, I caught one, as Tan shakes his head and smiles. I'm honestly not sure how I'm supposed to repay you guys when the debt keeps growing, but I can't tell you how much I appreciate your help, gentlemen.
Oh.
Captain Ayla looks at each of you gratefully, and then at her men and says, Company, fall back to the settlement and see any wounds are treated. Then, get back to work.
Straight to the point. I like that about Ayla, you know.
Everybody's kind of just standing around like, oh, now? Right now?
Do you think that the heroes of Belnora should perhaps check out this cave first?
We kind of did, right?
Okay.
I think we could go poking around a little deeper, though, right? This was a pretty surface level.
As long as we have those shafts. What are they exactly? The
shafts.
Yeah, the pokers that match the box. I think will be
the box pokers.
To examine that possibly at the back at the camp.
Yeah, so you guys didn't actually find that item. What you found was like kind of a journal entry.
I'm so sorry. Right.
From Rithus that said, this is what we were doing, kind of just like more like a log than a journal entry, kind of like found items, and then it had
they
schematics
took the item
of what they
away.
Look like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So unfortunately, they only caught Bash and Tan only caught one of the guys as they were retreating, but there were 7 guys who were leaving the camp.
Has it been? Could I roll to see if we can find where they went, like to track some of these people?
Yeah. I mean, you guys can kind of see that they all went in separate directions. I
think we should probably
they just scattered.
Get our guest here back to the camp.
We could interrogate him here too.
Fire away.
Let's get in this hut, shall we? This is an interrogation hut now.
Yeah. The one upstairs that the roof is caved in on.
Yeah, it's an interrogation hut.
Okay. Ayla kind of chips in here. She says, gentlemen, it might be better to take this guy back to the settlement and question him there. Looks like everyone's kind of worse for wear, and I think we could all use a long rest. Does that seem right to you?
That's why you're the captain. That's a great idea.
Well, I mean, you boys are free to do whatever you want. We can leave this Reaver here for you to deal with, and we can meet you back at the camp. But I got to get my boys back.
Why don't we all go back together? There's safety in numbers, and there are still plenty of these guys out there.
My loyal subjects.
Yeah.
We do have to address the kind of socio-political issues surrounding the shift of power.
I mean, I was there. Obviously, I was in a cage, but I did watch you defeat Clyde, the chieftain, and the power is supposed to transfer to you, but there was no one there to recognize it. So, I mean,
Well,
it's your word. It's your word against.
We have this
theirs.
guy. We have this new guest, this prisoner.
Also, to be fair, I'm happy to exchange strong words with whoever would care to exchange them with me at any time on any soil.
A debate. A
She
spirited
looks,
debate.
Yeah, she looks up at the carnage, like the dead bodies of the two very powerful enemies up top on the ridge, and she says, "Okay, yeah, I get it. I get that."
I'm level 5 now, Ayla. I get 2 attacks.
You're riding high right now, Clyde. I see. I get it.
Yeah,
I get
it.
Yeah. Okay. The road home feels shorter than the one that led you to the Reaver camp. It gently carries you back to your tents. Ayla and the guards go back to the tower, and you see that they prepare a cell for the Reaver guard. He remains unconscious. After a night of hard-won rest, you each wake to envelopes containing 100 gold pieces and 1 token apiece for the Wall of Wonders.
Oh, yeah!
100 gold
Yes.
pieces?
Yeah, 100 gold pieces each. 1 token for the Wall of Wonders with a little note from Ayla that just has a little heart and a winky face on it.
Oh, really?
We also I have all of our
I meant
gold
to read into that
written
emoji.
down. Yeah. I have all the gold written down.
Many times
We're rolling
emojis are
insight
put
check.
up in defense.
Insight check.
Hmm?
So you guys all of you receive those envelopes.
Okay.
But all of your days go a little bit differently. Tassels. You wake with the morning sun. What do you do with your day? You're free to do what you want with your day. No one else is awake yet. It's just you. You've got your spell book. You've got, the whole day ahead of you. What do you do?
I'm really just looking for some time to kind of crack into some new spells and kind of just figure out why the hell I'm still following these humans around. Really, I'm now back in the camp, and pretty soon they're gonna put a hammer in my hand, and I just kind of need to possibly escape that world in reality for a second and sort of process that through the lens of my magic.
Sweet. So you have a bunch of kind of materials that you're still studying that you've picked up along the way. So are you looking for kind of a quiet place to study, or?
I love the feeling of the sun through the top of a thin tent.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually kind of baking a little bit in there for a little while, at least. Feels good.
Cool. Yeah. So you're staying in your tent. You're looking over some of your new materials, these things you've gathered. You're just ruminating a little bit. As you force your mind to concentrate on your work, you're reminded that even though it's still quite difficult for you to pick up new magic, there was a time that it seemed impossible. A couple hours in, you close your eyes and you kind of think back to the way things kind of used to be for you. And almost as clear as day, almost as clear as the beautiful bright morning in front of you, you see your mentor, Thaddeus. A bold figure in his silver robes, he's pacing in front of you. Wisps of smoke trail from his long, slender fingers. He runs a hand through his large black beard. sharpening steel-colored eyes to look down the crook of his nose at you. For the last time, Tartorius, you need to focus. You must envision the electricity jumping from your hand to your target to perfect the shocking grasp. You must first perfect the grasp. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I'm going to understand this grasp to your throat, old man.
I understand that your first instinct is to turn to anger, but you must quell that. You are not a sorcerer. Your magic does not come from an infinite well inside of you. You must concentrate for the magic to happen. Do you understand?
How can I see what's in the well when I got to go spend time looking up words like quell?
Your poetry aside, young Tartorius,
It's something that I'm working on the side.
You must learn to focus. Focus your energies. Now, give me a shocking grasp. And he reaches out his hand to you like in the form of a handshake. I want you to go ahead and roll me an Arcana check.
Bless.
Firmly grasp it.
Okay.
Firmly grasp.
I feel my attributes growing. This is, of course. Oh, beautiful. That's 6. So that's 18.
So you actually manage to, as you squeeze his hand, a small current comes out, and you do kind of shock him, but it's more in the form of one of those prank like hand buzzers.
Just a little kiss.
You shock him, but you're still kind of trying to grasp the magic. But your form is good. He smiles and he says, "It's okay, dear boy. I know this isn't easy for you, but I've seen you. Well, I know that you can do this. Now, approach me again, but this time, see the jolt in your mind's eye. Remember the hand motions and release the magic." All right, give me one more Arcana check.
Yeah.
This time with advantage.
Oh,
Ooh,
look
there
at
it
that.
is.
17. 17 plus 6 is something around 25 or so.
17 plus 6 is a 23.
Okay.
He was right. It was around 25.
Yeah, absolutely. Price is Right rules, I
Yeah.
think. You reach out, you grab him, and you straight up make direct eye contact and shock him through his hand.
Yes.
And instead of like drawing back or being upset, he smiles and he laughs, he's like hysterically. Yes, you're doing it, Tartorius.
You feel that?
Well done, my son. Well done. Now quickly, while it's still fresh, again. And you open your eyes and you're back in your tent and you have this, you smell like the burnt electricity in the air, almost like you were kind of unwittingly casting shocking grasp in that memory, deep in that memory. So you're taking your time, you're going through your spells. What are the new spells that you're learning?
I'm learning 2 particularly interesting spells. Vampiric touch from outside of my school, which is extremely powerful and just an amazing looking 3rd level wizard spell. And the other spell is from within my school of conjuration, of within that is the school really, is that of sleet storm.
Oh, yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is
So
quite the area effect.
Yeah.
you find that sleet storm is a little easier for you as it's kind of in a more practiced field for you. It comes a little easier. The somatic movements become a little, you pick them up quickly. But Vampire Touch gives you a bit of a hard time. You spend a great deal of the day trying to get it down, and you're capable of doing it. You are able to do it, but you do feel that frustration kind of building in you of, why is this so difficult for me? Why do I have to fight to cast every spell? Why do I have to spend longer than the people that I, have seen on my journeys? Why is it so hard for me?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're going to add those two to your spell book. So no longer will you have to carry scrolls or carry any of your supplementary materials around. You are out of new material, but you do have two new spells to add to your book.
Sweet.
Clyde,
I'm here. I'm ready.
You open your eyes and the world looks different. At first, you're not sure why. Everything in your tent seems to be in its place. But then you realize the colors have changed. Things have kind of shifted to grayscale. You're in your tent. You can see your gray crossbow, your gray bag of holding, your gray bedroll. And then you turn and see a gray Clyde Wonderspice Gnome Ranger sleeping soundly. You open your eyes again. The world has returned to normal, and you're looking right at your stout friend, Sherman the Sugar Glider, who's looking right back at you.
Whoa. Hey, Sherman.
Yes?
I don't know if I can really explain the sensation that just happened here, but I feel like I was dreaming and I was looking at myself through your eyes. Have you ever done that? Have you ever experienced that, like with me?
No, not really. I mean, I'm on your shoulder, so I guess kind of see the world from your perspective a lot more than, than maybe you've seen it of mine. You're not like running around on the ground.
Would I know anything more about this, or would Clyde just chalk it up to a particularly lifelike dream?
Give me an insight check.
Not particularly insightful, I wouldn't think. That's going to be a 9 total.
You aren't quite sure what happened. It is extremely strange that when you felt like your eyes were open and you were looking at your sleeping body, and then as soon as you woke up, you were looking at Sherman.
Mm-hmm.
So it's strange. But perhaps it's a coincidence. You don't know.
I think I'm going to chalk it up to a particularly vivid dream for now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where Clyde's at. Clyde isn't going to dive too deep into the inner machinations of his mind, at least not right now. Who knows what's in there?
Cool. When you pop out of your tent for the day, there's not a ton of activity. People are still waking up, but you see Tan near the guard tower. He's using the archery range, but instead of using a bow and arrows, he's striking the targets with small, ornately carved throwing daggers, and he's just kind of like popping 2, 3, 4, 5 at a time, and then sprinting towards them, popping them all back out, hiding them in his sleeves, and running and doing it again.
Whoa, sick. I'd like to walk up to the range and saddle up maybe next to him if there's like a lane that's open.
Yeah, there's 3 archery lanes. Yeah. And he looks over at you and he nods. He says, hey, morning there, guy.
Hey, how's it going, Tan? Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you too, buddy.
How's the range treating you today?
I've hit at least 2 bullseyes, if you can believe it.
Because I know you, I could believe it. However, maybe you and I could make things interesting. Maybe a little wager.
All right. What do you have in mind?
I'm thinking, what do you say? 2 shots, 3 shots? Who has the tighter grouping centered on that bullseye? And if you win, I would be happy to give to you after I examine my inventory. I have a pair of daggers. They are not fancy, but they mean the world to me. and I would give these to you that you may think of me when you're out there sneaking around, slinking around, and doing all sorts of your subterfuge sort of stuff. Now, if
And,
I win,
yeah. This is what I was more interested in, frankly.
if I win, I want you to teach me how to do some of your sneaking around skills. I saw you out there when we were approaching the bandit camp, and I know that we weren't discovered because of you. We were discovered because of me stepping on twigs and tripping on rocks. So if I win, you got to take at least an afternoon teaching me some of the ways of sneakery.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I can get behind this. I want those daggers. They look very nice, but I don't
They're
want to
okay.
lose because I value my free time.
Well,
Although
that's perfect.
I would not say it is wasted hanging out with you, but being a teacher is not something I ever signed up to do. It is why I joined the guards. I'm not very good. I have no patience.
You can say no to this challenge if it makes you scared or uncomfortable in any way.
How fucking dare you? Let's go.
Okay.
He just like quickly whips 3 daggers towards the target. So you can go ahead and make 3 shots. Clyde, how do you want to do this? Because basically I will tell you that
Good God.
your first arrow will have a lower DC.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going for a tighter grouping, the DC will increase for each shot afterwards.
Got it. I mean, is there any particular? I might have to go shut my dog up in a second here, but first things first, I guess I'd probably just roll a straight up attack, right? I don't really see anything fancy about this. It's me attempting to hit a target. If anything, if we're going for a tight grouping, do you think there would be Walter? Chill. I'm just gonna roll 3 attacks. How's that sound, James?
Yeah, roll 1 at a time here.
Gotcha. First one is going to be a 13.
All right, so
Only
believe it or
13.
not, that hits the target that's not very far away and moving, but it's going to
Nice.
increase the DC for your next 2 attacks. So
Okay.
we're going to say in order to get a tight grouping, you're going to want a DC 15 followed by a DC 20. Anything lower than that, it'll be like a little less grouped, and anything higher than that will be tighter.
Gotcha. Well, let's go for it. That's going to be a 15 on the dot.
Okay, so the 15, it hits nice and tight, nothing crazy, but 2 shots right next to each other.
This last one, we need a non-dud here. That's an 18 only.
Okay, so you have 2 shots very close to each other, another one that's not terribly far away. Let's see how he does. He hits the target. He critically fails. He rolls a 2. So
Nice.
he hits a bullseye on the first one with the first dagger and gets so stoked that he hit a bullseye that the next one does not even hit the target, and then the second one kind of hits the side of it, like on the hay bale next to where the target is.
Tan, I'd like you to consider a snarky remark, but seeing as you're about to be my mentor, I will show you respect and withhold the snark. But nice first shot, buddy.
Well, I appreciate that. It's nice to know that you are not a sore winner. It looks like my afternoon is now spoken for, and I am now daggerless.
Tell you what, I've got 2 daggers. I'll split one with you. You can have one.
Like a friendship dagger sort of thing?
Yeah, just, I don't want to send you with nothing.
I appreciate
We'll
that.
give you the one.
And, well, to tell you the truth, I was joking about my afternoon. I probably would have done this for you with or without this competition.
Well, let's get sneaking. What should we do, Tan?
You
I'm
saved
excited.
my life. All right. Give me some time to think about this. Why don't you meet me here after sundown? Or
Yeah,
at the
absolutely.
golden hour, perhaps, right before the sun sets, maybe.
Okay, yeah, sounds great. I'll see you
Yeah.
then.
All right, all right. He's like talking to himself as he walks away. Well, if I did, okay, maybe if we, no, that's too easy. And like, he's just walks
Awesome.
off. Vivian.
Yes.
You are back at the place of your birth. You are in the garments befitting a member of your standing in your clan.
Mm-hmm.
You are wearing kind of ceremonial wrestling garments.
Wrestling.
You see that there is a ring around you marked by saffron and gold. And in front of you is your big brother. He's about a head taller than you. He's a little more broad, a little wider, and you know that he's a little bit stronger than you. And you hear the drums. There's these big, bold drums that signal the beginning of this like ceremonial wrestling match that is one of the most important days of your life as a mudslinger. Your brother kind of smiles at you, gives you a little smirk, like this self-assured, shit-eating kind of like half smile. And he rushes towards you. Give me an opposed grapple check.
Ooh, all right. Ooh, is that just straight up strength?
It's athletics or acrobatics, depending on which one which one's
They're
better
the
for you.
same for me, so 19.
Okay, so he comes at you just so sure of himself, and he gets hands on you, but you're able to, after kind of years of putting up with his bullying and his kind of big brother antics, you're able to kind of get the better of him. You get underneath and you're able to kind of throw him using his own momentum. And you can go ahead and give me a grapple check.
Yeah.
As you're going to try and take advantage of the momentum you've created.
It's going to be a 16.
So despite kind of having the upper hand, and you do have like a very strong follow-up move, you go to kind of get his leg up and kind of start to pin him into the ground, trying to get a little bit of kind of purchase.
Mm-hmm.
He's able to scramble back up on top, and he pushes you off. But he's no longer grinning. He's covered in dirt, the mud of this kind of ceremonial wrestling pit. And he looks at you, maybe respecting you for the first time in your young lives. And he's going to come at you again. Give me an opposed grapple check.
Yeah.
He comes at you, and you try to plant your feet to get ready for him to come through. And he doesn't look very sure of himself. He's now all of a sudden, again, less confident. But you slip in the mud, and he sees this as kind of his moment to jump in and take advantage of your fall. He moves forward and tries to kind of throw a bow into your stomach. Go ahead and give me one more opposed grapple check here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 19.
All right. And just like that, you get the tide turned on him again. He goes to throw the bow. You are falling. You grab his arm. You use his arm to help yourself up, and you've got him in kind of like a half Nelson now.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a grapple check.
Cool. Yes, dirty 20. Here we go.
Sick.
You press the advantage. You put your leg behind his legs. You kick his legs out from under him. You push him down. You've got him now over the top. You've got high ground, and he's on his knees. You start to squeeze, and you can tell that if you keep squeezing, he's going to like lose consciousness, and you're going to win this fight. I'm going to need one more strength check, just a sheer strength check here.
Straight up and
Kill your brother, dude. This is damn.
Oh, that's going to be a 19.
Slowly but surely,
He's
your
dead.
brother, Darren Mudslinger, goes unconscious in a sleeper hold.
Darren.
You put him right to sleep. He goes down unconscious, but not dead. Very specifically, not dead. Thank you, Tom.
All right.
And the crowd goes into this stunned silence for a moment. This whole thing has happened in seconds.
I've been
And-
extremely nervous this entire time, and I will, if in the silence, I will let out just the tiniest nervous fart, a squeaker. I've been freaking out, my stomach churning,
Now you're squeaking.
and
out.
now I'm squeaking out.
You are saved by the bell as the crowd goes absolutely wild in time to cover your embarrassing toot. And just like all of your family, all of the other members of the Mudslinger clan, all of the people who have gathered to watch your match, hill dwarves from miles around have come to watch this ceremony in which the winner of this fight becomes betrothed to one Isolde Mudslinger. She is a
Kissing
princess.
cousins.
You guys don't have the same family name. You have the same clan
I
name.
know. It's
So Isolde is the princess who everyone in the village has been dying to have the chance to become betrothed to.
she's a handsome woman.
She is, and she also, marrying her would make you the future ruler of this village. And your family, as you know, is higher up on the food chain. And so it came down to you and your brother. How are you feeling in this moment? I mean, I know that this was kind of more of like a...
Yeah, I think I intended to try to lose, but instinct kicked in when I was
maybe
in the
maybe
heat of
years
battle.
of being kicked
Yeah,
by your older brother and kind of put down, like always being considered, smaller and not good enough. And you turned this lemon into a real shit pie.
yeah.
So you're now kind of standing in the mud, being cheered for the first time in your young life. And your father comes out, and he just smiles at you in this way you've never seen.
Mhm.
He grabs you, he holds you, he hugs you, he holds your arm up in the air, and your big brother looks at you from the ground, gets up, and walks away as the crowd cheers, and you watch your brother go, and you wake up,
Oof.
kind of in a pool of sweat in your bedroll. Kind of late morning. You've slept in a little later than everybody else.
Yeah.
And Dob, who is standing by the front flap of your tent, kind of just picking things out of his little otter nails. He says, "Yeah, that's a tough beat for a kid like you. That's a real bummer, man.
Excuse me?
Like the whole beating your brother in a wrestling match, then having to marry this girl you didn't want to marry. That's a bum rap, is all I'm saying."
Dob, how are you seeing this? How did you bring that bear into the fight is another question.
All these questions, a lot of questions. I don't like answering questions, man. They're not really my thing.
Okay, I'll respect that, Dob, because I'll call us dear friends at this point. We shook hands.
That's right, and that's how I can see your dreams.
Right, that's what friends do, because I've had many of them in the past. So we should go for a walk and find some breakfast, right?
Yeah, man, I know a great place where the berries grow real big.
Oh,
Let's go. Let's take
yeah.
a walk.
I'll
You
try,
guys
I'll
start
try to
walking.
hold his hand as we walk.
He slaps your hand.
Dang.
We're not there yet, pal. We're not there yet.
Okay.
You asked, and I know what I said. I don't like questions, and I usually don't answer them, but I'll give you this one. You asked me how I brought that bear to help in that fight. My good friend Melanie, the bear. She's a real sweetheart.
Of course, Melanie.
special people, real like in tune with nature kind of people. You know, people like you, people like me. Sometimes when we get real strong, we can will certain animals into being to, you know, protect us, do our bidding, you know, whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
What if I told you that along with our little deal, you don't just get access to the animals in the area, but you might even be able to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. What do you think about that, huh?
I could get down with that, Dob. Would you teach me how? And could I roll an insight as well? Just
Yeah, go for
about his being. Not great. 9 total.
He seems like a real cool otter that just wants to help you out.
Yeah, Dob. Let's go conjure some stuff.
He brings you over to this like berry bush where, I mean, the guy wasn't kidding. The berries are like unnaturally large. They're huge raspberries and blackberries, and you know, 3 different trees of different berries, and they're fit to burst. They're huge, and he just starts picking them up. He lays down on his back and just starts kind of dangling them over his face and just eating them one at a time.
I will follow his lead. Eat it the same exact way as this otter.
This is how you do it. But wouldn't it be nice to share this with a friend?
It would. Should I go get Clyde or Tassles?
No. Look at that space between the 2 bushes.
Mm-hmm.
That this empty space.
Yeah.
Think about what kind of animal, perhaps, that you think might be happiest to share these berries with us. Just picture in your mind's eye. And then I want you to use your damn druid powers and summon a fucking animal into existence and make it eat the berries with us.
Okay, yes,
all
sir.
right? You
Yes,
can do
sir.
it. I know you can do it.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Crabs love berries, dude.
I'm focusing. I'm focusing hard.
Like a king crab.
So you can now use the ability Fey Animal Summoning,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's just conjure animals, I think.
Conjure animals.
Yep.
So what animals can you conjure?
I found a list on the internet.
Very good. The internet's always right.
So I can do 1 CR2 level beast, 2 CR1 level beasts, 4 CR half level beasts, and then 8 CR quarter level beasts.
Cool.
So I can do like a big boy or a swarm.
I mean, world to your oyster, man. What do you want to do?
Yeah,
Oysters.
for right now,
Summon 100 oysters.
100 oysters. Oh, frog is on this list. That's not happening.
Is
That one
mollusk
got me
on this
pretty-
list?
They love berries, dude.
They love berries.
I-
Unbelievable.
I will summon 8 mules.
It's like a Budweiser cherry of summoned
Of
mules.
mules.
You slowly but surely materialize 8 beautiful mules of all shapes and sizes, all kinds of
Fey
different mules. And they have like kind of a weird magical energy about them. And they all just kind of start eating the berries. And Dobbs stands up when he sees how many you've summoned. He just goes, "Oh shit, that's so many. That's so many asses.
Pretty
I
good.
cannot even believe you. That is way better than I thought you would do on your first try. Holy shit. Okay.
I would like to take turns getting on each of the mules to see which one fits my loins the best.
The third from the left.
Perfect. This will be mine, Dob. You may pick
Loin
one.
beast.
He jumps on one. He finds one. He's just the one right next to you. Says, "I'll race you."
Oh, you're on, Dob.
And you guys jump to it. The sun begins to set, Clyde, as you leave to meet Tan by the guard tower. Give me a perception check.
Big time.
Let's perceive.
Nice. That's gonna be a 21.
Oh my god, a 21.
Yep.
Cool. You at first don't see him, but he
Oh,
is
sorry.
like-
No. I lied. I was scrolled up and I was looking at a previous roll. I need to scroll down. That's an 11 plus 4 is 15. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
never mind. You
I
definitely
was looking at a
don't see him.
17. I was like, what?
You're standing around for a minute, kind of just like wondering, maybe did he stand me up? And then you watch as like one of the shadows in front of you moves, and he just like runs up and like just gives you like a light punch on the shoulder. He goes, I was here the whole time.
Oh, damn, dude. That was some good stuff. You got to teach me how to do those sort of
Stealth,
punches.
baby. This
It's
is what
called
stealth
stealth.
looks like.
It's
God
stealth.
damn it.
Man. So, like, is this the way we're going to learn? Are you going to have me standing in various fields where you sneak up and then, like, sucker punch me?
Man, that would actually be way fun for me, but for you, I imagine not so fun and certainly not helpful for learning the art.
Man, that was a nice
Stealth.
demonstration, though, and I respect the art, Sensei.
All right, so the trick to stealth is simple. We're already small, so by nature, we're kind of harder to spot. So make it harder for them, use your environment, right? If you see shadows, use them. You see some trees or bushes or shit, use them. Some crates, barrels, other such structures, fucking use them. You can hide behind your friends for crying out loud.
Whoa.
Now, we're going to play a game. All right, Bash and I are going to walk around the settlement. I put a gold coin on the stoop of the Spice of Life. You got to sneak from here to there. We spot you, you lose. We don't, you get the gold. Sound easy enough?
Yeah, let's go.
So he like starts walking towards the center of town, then like snaps back to look at you to make sure you didn't disappear already, and then just kind of, and then you see he kind of jogs into town. Bash is walking around, just kind of swinging his like sheath around, just kind of like whoa. And they are now patrolling the settlement.
Okay.
So this is going to work kind of similarly to the grapple fest we just kind of ensued, in a little bit similar to your archery sesh just a second ago.
Mm-hmm.
So as you continue, the DC is going to get a little harder as you get closer to them. So on the outside of town, how about this? Okay, have you ever played Manhunt? It's a game that used to play as a kid.
Big time.
I
You
feel
have, like,
like
one
I did.
team-
I'm trying to remember.
You have like one team that like hides and is like trying to get to this base, and another team that's out there trying to find them.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically trying to get to the base. You get there, you win.
Got it.
And so their job is to make sure you don't get there.
Gotcha.
So as the game goes on, it gets harder and harder as they start to kind of guard the base. So to give you kind of a frame of reference, they are going to like kind of start getting closer and closer to the place where you're trying to go so that they don't lose.
Got it.
So you see them circling, you're kind of waiting for your time. You're on the outside. They're still, it's starting to get dark, so they don't see you.
Is there anything I could use? I'm trying to learn from his advice to use my surroundings. Is there
Yeah,
like a cart wielding vendor or something walking by?
There's a lot of different stalls and tents set up in the town, in the settlement center,
Mhm.
around the one like really finished building. The buildings have kind of come a long way since you guys got back from Garrett's Gate, but it's still only been like 5 or 6 days, so it's not crazy. Some structures have started to be built, and near you is like kind of the foundation of a new building that you might be able to use. You can go ahead and roll your first stealth check with advantage.
Sweet.
Oh
my.
nice.
Big time.
You disappear inside the foundation of this building, and you notice that Bash comes around and like looks inside the foundation, like has the idea like maybe this would be a good place to hide, but he
And I'm
doesn't
in there.
see you. Yeah, you're like in there, you see him, and it's very similar to Tan looking at you from the side of the guard tower, just like waiting for you to spike. It just doesn't happen. He walks away, and you hear Tan say, "Anything over there?" And Bash is like, nope, no, nothing. Can't see him. He's definitely not here. So as you get closer, what do you do?
Okay, I'm looking for the next point. I figure what I'm looking for is like to stage my approach. We can't just move in. Is there another nearby structure that I can get to? And is there any way to kind of cross the gap between here and there without being seen?
So you're getting closer. Roll me a perception check.
Mm-hmm. To perceive. That'll be a 7.
Okay. You don't really see anything standing out as being safer than another thing.
Okay.
There's just lots of tents, lots of different things around.
So I'm going to just pick whichever one's closest with
Yep.
no real discernment beyond that. And I'm just going to
Okay.
try and get there.
Roll me a stealth check.
Okay. Ooh. Yikers. That's going to be a total of an 11
Okay.
to stealth.
So you go towards a tent, and as you're like trying to kind of get to the side of it, you feel a tap on your shoulder. And Tan just kind of says, not quite good enough, pal. We're going to need to start over.
Oh, have we met? My name is Clyde. I don't... Okay, fine. You got me, Tan. All right, let's do it again. Okay, I can do it this time. I promise.
So you run back out. He makes you kind of go in a different direction. On the outskirts, you find kind of another nice little place to hide. I imagine now that you're looking, that's kind of what you're doing. So roll this first one with advantage.
Sweet. Okay, 19.
Cool. You find this like wagon. You hide underneath it. You kind of, you haven't drawn any attention. Nobody comes over, but you don't see Bash or Tan. They don't seem to be in this area.
Nice. If they're not here, then time's of the essence. Got to move on to the next spot.
Okay,
Gotta
give me a
get going
perception
quick.
check.
Mm-hmm. I just realized I forgot to add my higher proficiency bonus, so I will get an additional 1.
That actually would have helped you out.
Before
think.
it's too late. I forgot. I goofed. I hadn't changed these numbers yet. So that is going to be a 23 to perceive.
You see that there is a section of like little tents, and there's a tall lantern holder that kind of is casting shadows. You see that if you hide towards the base of that lantern holder,
Mhm.
you can kind of get away with maybe like a little bit of an advantage there.
Sweet.
So go ahead and roll another stealth check with advantage.
Big time. Okay, it's going to be an 18.
Very nice. You now kind of hug the corner, you get inside, and the lantern is like doing its job. You see Tan comes around looking for you, and he like looks and squints into the light and then just kind of keeps moving. So as you continue inward, you kind of look, you're getting closer. Give me an insight check to see if you can kind of figure out where they might go based on how close you are to the coin.
So I'm like hiding and I'm trying to guess where they're going to be, where
That's
they're
right.
going to go.
Yep.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
4 total.
All right. So unfortunately, you can't really figure it out. You're like, I don't know where they've gone. You watched Tan kind of go the opposite direction, but you have no idea where Bash is. He could be right behind you.
Okay, how's this for you? Let me try one thing.
Yeah.
Sherman with me.
Sherman is with you. Yeah.
In my concentration,
Mm-hmm.
my eyes are closed. When I open them, can I see in this grayscale?
Yes.
Through intense focus. I don't really know what's happening. I'm seeing grayscale.
You're closing your eyes. You're trying to think what, like the light is kind of giving you a little bit of nausea. You're thinking like, okay, how do I get to this coin? Where are they? And you open your eyes and you are now seeing through Sherman's eyes. You see yourself closing your eyes kind of in this dark shadow. You see, the people of the settlement milling about. What do you do?
I wonder what Sherman might see if he were to wander out there in the shade of the shadows.
I'm going to give you a Sherman roll in D20. He's going to roll an insight check for you.
Nice.
All right, that is a 20 insight check for Sherman. And he whispers to you, he says, I think that they're probably circling, getting closer to the coin. So if you kind of go to the left here, they're like, you can go underneath. You might be able to go underneath.
Let's go underneath. That's a great idea, Sherman.
Go ahead and roll me another stealth check with advantage
Okay.
as you and Sherman go trying to get underneath the I just realized
It's going to be a 17.
I never switched this back to the settlement insert.
Oh, that's nice.
That is nice. That
just
helps.
nice.
Yeah. Oh,
So what'd you get altogether?
17.
17. So
Mhm.
there's a close call. As you go under, you have to kind of skitter under Bash as he's kind of just like lumbering through. You like have to go right between his legs, but you're able to quietly and quickly and stealthily go cross between his legs. You go underneath, and now you are right. It's right there. You see Bash and Tan both kind of like circling the spice of life. And on that front porch, you can see like you can't see the gold exactly from where you are, but you're underneath, and you think that you might be able to get there.
How far away from it am I? Did you say?
You're about 10 feet,
10 feet.
and you're like now underneath like the foundation of the spice of life. So I'm just gonna let you decide how you want to try and get there, and then we'll see how you roll based on that.
Is it possible to create some sort of a distraction, some sort of a ruckus?
Yes.
Like throw a rock somewhere, like 20 feet out or somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
In that moment of distraction, I dart for the coin.
Cool. So how are you creating the distraction?
Okay, I'm looking for a rock or a piece of rubble, basically. And is there anything that I could throw to hit beyond just like a rock, like hitting the ground? I guess what can I see from the foundation? I know you kind of just explained this, but is there anything that I could hit with this rock?
There's like the sign for the spice of life. It's like 5 feet in front of the building and to the left. And they're both kind of circling around that area. If you
Is that
hit
too close to where that coin is going to be, or is that going to be a usable distraction point? Would I think as Clyde?
I think that you probably think that it'll do better than anything else. It's close enough that they'll hear that small sound, and
I
far
just
enough.
need that moment of just look. Maybe they go and investigate, and I just capitalize on that.
All right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have you throw it. You're an archer. I'm just going to say that you can take your time and throw a rock to hit that sign. That's not a
Sweet.
problem. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna roll a deception check. You're gonna roll with advantage.
Deception check.
Yes. Deception check with advantage, and we're gonna see if it fools them.
Subterfuge. Is that charisma to deceive?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then that'll be a 14.
Luckily, it is actually good enough. So you throw the rock. The two of them look. Roll me a stealth check with advantage.
Oh boy, let's get in there. There we go.
Oh,
Yeah, baby.
yeah.
It's a natty 20.
So you soundlessly, you go underneath, kind of through the foundation. You pop out on the other side. You're there before they've even turned their heads back. You have the gold in your hand, and you're just sitting there. And they both turn and they look at you with the gold in your hand. And Tan just starts slow clapping.
I did it, dude.
And he comes over. He says, "Man, not too shabby for your first try. We're gonna have to make it harder for you next time."
Uh-oh. That took everything I had, Tan.
I like the distraction. That was smart.
Wasn't that nice? I felt pretty good about it. That was awesome.
Go ahead and mark yourself as proficient in stealth, Clyde.
Yes. Let's go.
Tassles, the dinner bell rings. The
God
guards are
bless.
gathering around the table, and Captain Ayla shows up at your tent. And she says, Tassles, I was hoping that you might join me for a bite of the old guard gruel this evening.
Ah, the gruel. The gabagrool. How have the facilities improved since we've been on the road?
Let's just say that the food has vastly improved since we first dug the holes for the first stakes of the settlement.
Steaks.
We have fresh food. The trade route has been endangered a couple times, but we have been able to get our first couple shipments of fresh food in.
All right.
So might even be able to get you some fruit and veg if you're interested.
Ayla, you honor me. Are you not horribly traumatized by the events of the last few days?
Everything that has happened in my life has been difficult. Nothing has been easy, and this is really just one more bump on the road.
Ayla, you, in the truest sense of the word, are a warrior to me.
Well, it's funny that you say that. Come with me.
Okay.
She walks you over to the kind of communal tables of the guards. You see Bash and Tan. You see Sergeant Hicks. You see that kind of wimpy guy that told you where to find the tracks for the Reaver caravan.
Yeah.
And you see all kinds of people. There are like 17 or 18 guards. They lost a couple people, but you can see a couple of the settlers, like a couple of the people from the settlement have volunteered, and they're all kind of sitting and eating. And Ayla says, one of the people that we lost was the mage of our little guard troop. So we have now lost the ability to do magic in this camp as far as the guards are concerned.
What was his name?
Well, his name was Carl Jr. and
It was Carl's Jr.
No, sorry. We'll just say his name was Carlton.
Yeah.
Carlton the Hedge Mage. He was a beginner magic user, but
Half
he was a
hedgehog, half mage.
strong warrior.
I remember him. I remember him, and I remember him on the battlefield. When we first approached the camp.
Yeah, he was a good man. The Reavers, unfortunately, they tried to take him hostage, and he had to be a hero. He'll be missed, but not to put too fine a point on it, his magic abilities will be missed a little more. We find ourselves in need of a wizard or mage to train some of the troops to fight with magic.
Mm-hmm. And
Is
where do you feel like you're going to find one?
The strongest magic user I know is sitting right in front of me.
Well, your understanding of magic is so narrow. You don't know that I'm barely an apprentice.
I mean, you're an apprentice who has now, saved multiple towns full of people, killed all kinds of nefarious foes, saved me more than once.
Well, I mean, they're the ones that caught themselves on fire, and you're the one that got thrown in the locker.
I see where you're going with this, and I resent that, but continue.
I think I'm just...
What are you searching for?
I'm just dealing with a feeling of, Ayla, I'm not ready.
But I'm not ready.
Okay. I mean, That is, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's a very disappointing thing for a girl to hear, but that doesn't mean that you can't be helpful. Perhaps.
That's all
You-
I've really maintained ever since agreeing to go to this crazy encampment and build this, rickety town up from the ground. All I've been trying to do is help some of you weirdos.
Well, look, here's what I'm thinking. All right, nothing too crazy, but maybe if you come across any kind of tomes or scrolls in your journey, things that you have no use for, maybe you could provide them to our people to learn from, garner some information, and just better prepare themselves for this fight that we find ourselves in.
We seem to have picked the best seat in the house, Ayla.
A real front row ticket arrangement, it would seem.
Ayla, I'm sorry. I will happily help the guard of this. I almost want to say lost cause at this point, boys. But
Bash like laughs so hard that he like chokes on his mashed potatoes and like slams himself in the chest and spits them out again.
hey,
He
we're
like
running low as it is. All right, you put that fresh food back in your mouth.
I'll eat it. He eats it.
Okay, Ayla,
It's really gross.
Ayla, I feel like my existence at this point is owed to this encampment, and I'm here to do magic.
That's a sick slogan. I'm here to do magic.
So you spend a little more time hanging out with the guards, and I mean they're growing a little more comfortable with you, and for a man of the people, you're starting to kind of like actually get to know people, get to know everybody. As the evening wears on, though, Ayla says, the three of you ought to head over to the Spice of Life and put those damn Wall of Wonder tokens in. I'm kind of curious to see what you guys get.
Am I there yet?
You guys are kind of all now just like eating a little bit.
I would have liked to ride in on the mules with the rest of the mules behind me and kind of interrupt dinner a little bit.
Yeah, great. So like she
laughing
says that
loudly with Dob, and as soon as we crash in,
and your hair is blowing in the wind.
yeah, and as soon as we crash in, like I'm being loud and raucous with Dob, and then as soon as we get in there, just a very quiet, "Oh hey guys."
It's like when Napoleon Dynamite rides the stallion up at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So all of the guards, including Ayla, are all just like staring at you in this otter riding on the back of these mules, and they're just kind of like dumbfounded.
I'll offer my hand to help Dob down.
He doesn't take it. He just jumps
You might
off.
want to get off, and then I'll snap, and they'll all disappear.
And you hear like audible gasps from like the guards. They've never seen anything like it.
I'll
I'd
sit
like
down.
to use that moment of distraction to sneak in.
Yeah.
Carry on.
I'll sit down next to Tassles and ask what's for dinner.
Roll me a stealth roll with advantage, Clyde.
Well, good, because that first one's a dud. My God.
Oh yeah.
There we go. That's gonna be a 26.
You are just sitting there. No one has noticed that you came. And Tan just goes, "My man, that's my guy. Holy shit, that was awesome." Ayla turns around, like jumps, like, "Oh God, oh my God. Don't."
Pleasure to see you too, Ayla. Beautiful as ever.
I was just kidnapped. You son of a bitch. You scared me.
Actually,
Vivian,
could I sit next to Tan as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Vivian,
Yes, Tassels.
do I understand that you just turned 8 mules and an otter into our friend Clyde Wonderspice?
I didn't intend it, but it seems that
You
the
snapped your
magic
fingers.
is working that way. I don't really have a great understanding of this magic. Maybe you, the wizard, could tell me more, but
I'm going to have to look at what just happened. I'm going to have to see the replay. We're going to have to send that downtown.
we're gonna have to send the tapes to the box.
So you guys are all sitting here. You're enjoying kind of a late night meal, and you hear like a little song coming from the middle of town, just like the sound of like a music box. It's not creepy. It's like kind of more like a somber and sweet little tune. And you realize quickly that it is coming from the open door of the Spice of Life.
Could I
He's
turn to
back
Tan
in.
real quick?
He is baiting us.
Yeah.
You're turning to Chan.
Hey, Tan. Remember when I lent you that scroll? Did you use it?
He just like looks both ways, tries to make sure no one's looking, and he just like pulls it out of his sleeve and then just hands it back to you.
Oh, thanks. Might come in handy for me, Thanks.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, dude.
I try and stay away from that magic stuff, except for in the direst of circumstances, and
Hey.
near death wasn't dire enough for me, I guess.
You're a man of danger.
Yeah. So you guys hear this beautiful music coming from the Spice of Life.
Wow.
Get over there and spice it up.
Grab a quarter, put it
We sh-
in, let
we
my
should
wonder
probably
wall
get-
spin.
That was the song, wasn't it?
That was the song.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
James wrote that.
Yeah.
I
On the spot, he did it. Yeah.
I believe that you just wrote it. Zach, I'm pretty sure that you just did it, and I was like, yeah, that's what he says.
That was Tom. Tom wrote the song.
Oh, was it Tom?
Yeah, Tom
God
wrote
bless.
the song a few back. Don't get,
I'm
I'll
a
you know what?
songwriter.
I was in the room, so Nashville songwriters rules. I'm in on it. I get the royalty check.
You
In
guys,
some wheels.
walk in, and Humphrey is not inside the Spice of Life.
I whistle the same tune back into the empty space.
Roll an ear training check.
Yeah.
Happy to.
It's in it's Mixolydian. Yeah, so you guys are just in this Spice of Life, and one thing you notice is that when Humphrey is not inside, it feels a little like less colorful. There's no weird smoke kind of going around like wizard leaf smell. It's just kind of like a little less fun. Some of the objects look less interesting, and you notice that the wonder wall, the wall of wonder,
Did I roll an investigation on his shop, I guess?
Yeah, I'll roll a perception too, just to see if we can find him.
yeah, give me some rolls, baby.
There's a natural
there
20
you
for
go,
you.
dude. There's a natural 1 for you to balance.
There's been a lot of
that.
natty 20s for Clyde tonight. Granted, there were some advantage rolls happening. But
Bunch of D20, just a lot of nat 20s though. Clyde, you with a critical success. You look around. There's no sign of Humphrey anywhere. The music seems to be coming from the wall itself, almost like a melody of kind of sadness. Just this, and you see that like very small gears inside the wall are turning, making this music box sound. What do you guys do?
Wow. I had imagined Tassels, after whistling and realizing that no one was there, I would like to state loudly that he's probably toking in the back, and I would like to walk out the front door and go around the side of the building to look
Are
in
you
the
guys
back.
gonna follow?
I'll go to the wonder wall
Mm-hmm.
and pop that token
Yeah.
in.
You see that it's like a broken arcade machine. You like
Oh.
put the token in, and like there's like a small slot underneath where you and it just like spits it back out.
Oh. Could I roll?
I'll head on back.
Yeah, could I roll an Arcana on it?
Yeah.
12.
You don't know exactly what kind of magic is going on, but you definitely think that maybe Humphrey has kind of a special link to this place.
Yeah.
And when he's not here, maybe the magic just doesn't work as well.
Okay.
You guys are heading out back.
Yes.
Are you closing the door?
Well, it feels weird just leaving the door open to an unattended shop, Humphrey's a friend, I would say. I think we should shut it.
Okay, you close the door. You guys walk around to the side and to the back. There are no signs of Humphrey. There's no other doors on the building. There are no windows. You guys are just kind of looking at this stark building in the middle of town.
At this point, I'm going to just return to the door and take another look inside and probably go up to the wall.
Wait, before you do that, Tassles, would you give me a hand? Maybe you could hoist me up on this roof. I don't know what it'll serve, but I like
It
getting
will
on
serve
roofs.
subterfuge.
Yeah.
Subterfuge.
And I'm happy to oblige.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jump on up there.
I
Yeah,
like to be
you can
hoisted.
climb with advantage. You're getting assisted here.
Cool.
So an athletics or acrobatics check.
Well,
I sneezed.
we'll call it an 8.
Yeah, you can't really get to the side of it. There's no siding on it. It's like you start to try and climb it, you can't find purchase. It's like completely flat. It's like kind of slippery.
Can't
It's
find
these damn
purchase.
Perry flowers. I'm sorry. Allergies.
Oh, it ain't no trouble. Suppose we go back in and keep hollering for Humphrey, or do we come back tomorrow?
Yeah, no, let's head back in there because, my friend, I can't help but feel someone is doing magic.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys going in through the front door?
Yeah.
You open the door and Humphrey Umbercave is standing at the front desk and he says, "Oh, hello, boys. Welcome back to the Spice of Life. So good to see you all. So wonderful.
Oh,
Has your beard grown in there, Vivian? Very nice texture, color. Very nice.
Oh, this thing?
Yes, they were very good.
I
Yes.
am just searching through my bag for a straight razor to just start trimming it in the middle of the shop.
Humphrey, while he turns your front space into a barber shop, I just have
Not
to
the first
ask.
time, not the first time, not the last, I'm sure.
I just have to ask. Last time we were here, you could have told us that we have to run around your house 3 times screaming your name for you to appear.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Not great. We're gonna call it +3.
So an
which is-
11.
Yeah.
It's like
All
a
right.
15 or something.
It's like around there. He says, don't be ridiculous, boy. You never have to travel that far to find old Humphrey. I've been here the whole time. Well, not the whole time. I left for a little bit, but now I'm back.
Well, I'm just joshing you. It's great to see you again.
Oh,
What
my.
are the new? What are the new updates? Have you got
we've
your firmware kind of
got
squared away at the
all
wall?
kinds of cool things in the Wall of Wonder, all kinds of interesting baubles and bits, curses and blessings. Like,
Is this a curse or a blessing for you?
you tell me. Just like a-
Humphrey, where were you? We were just in your shop a moment ago.
I was elsewhere.
Okay. Your machines seem pretty sad.
Yes, it gets that way when I leave the old shop front here.
Are you sure it doesn't need to be let out into the wild every once in a while? Get a little fresh air?
No, it definitely does. It's fine. Leave it where it is. Don't touch it, boy.
That was a joke, Humphrey. I think we've got a connection now.
Well, who's first? Step right up. You have to spin to win, baby. Get on in there.
I'm first. Clyde steps up, holding his coin aloft. He's gonna drop it
Alright.
into the slot.
Roll me a d20.
Phew.
A 3. A noble 3.
A noble 3. A natural.
Now, am I correct
3.
in saying that the dice roll doesn't necessarily reflect the value of the item found, or am I getting a 3 out of 20?
It's just a random chart. Don't think like a low roll on this thing does not necessarily mean something bad.
You get some old boxers of Humphreys.
You get one used radish.
Radish.
So you pop the coin in. The wall does its old song and dance. It lights up. The gears start moving, and out of one random kind of hole in the wall, this kind of box gets pushed out, and the hole closes up again, and it's just an old box. What do you do?
Immediately open it.
Inside, lavender scaled leather boots with 3 claws sticking out of each one.
Nice boots.
Beautiful boots.
Beautiful.
They look a little big for you on first glance, but would you like to try them on?
Yeah, I'd like to walk out to his front stoop where I'll sit down and kick off my old kind of stinky, worn clogs that I've been wearing. Hoping these will serve my new stealth abilities a little better. I slip on the scaled clawed boots.
This is one of the coolest items in the whole thing. These are boots of the boulette. Your movement becomes 40 feet.
Whoa, sick.
You
I'm
gain
fast as hell.
the standing leap ability.
Oh,
Once per day, you may use the boots to do something called a deadly leap. It's a DC 16 strength or dex check, or the person that you are performing the deadly leap on takes a 2d6 plus 4 bludgeoning damage and 2d6 plus 4 slashing damage.
wow.
And is knocked prone. A success takes half that damage.
So I just pounce on someone with
Yes.
the deadly leap.
With the deadly leap.
I can jump crazy high and run super fast. now.
Yeah, yeah.
These are like super rare, super nice magic boots.
Holy shit. And they're beautiful lavender.
Ooh.
Is that what you said?
They're
Yeah.
they're lavender scaled leather.
Wow.
They look like some kind of like reptilian creature with the claws and everything. They make you like think of maybe like some kind of lizard or
Yeah, Clyde feels like a lizard a lot of the time. So he's more in line with how he views himself. And I'm seeing that that's Anton's item. Is that right?
I believe so, yeah.
Dude, so sick. So
Robert
big time. Can I get
Boulay.
those? Maybe I'll just hit you up later for those stats. I'll try to write them down quick so I remember. But that's awesome. 40 base speed with boots.
I gotta say, this was one of my favorite
That is sick.
items that we've seen. Really, really sick. Humphrey is excited too. He says, "Oh, a good find, a blessing, a true blessing. Who's next? Come on, step right up, boys. Don't be shy."
I'll shuffle up there, and I'll be mumbling to myself, "Grab a quarter, put it in, let my wandering wall spin." Pop it in. Going to be a 19, my friend.
$19. 19. All right.
All right.
1 second.
Uh-oh.
I just need to double check on something.
Did Anton, the Goblet of Fine Drink was Anton as well, right?
It was, yeah. So now we've seen 2
Wowee.
Anton.
Didn't Notch do the drink, or that was Anton too?
Yeah, Notch has a couple in there though. He's put a few.
They're still inside the machine. Don't worry.
Oof.
Notch, they're in there, baby. and they're brewing. They're getting stronger.
Dude. Uh-oh. Getting stronger?
I said nothing.
What?
How's this wall work? I
Um,
said maybe.
Baby, baby. Oh, I said maybe.
All right. So
Yes.
out of the slot where your coins were returned, a tiny little jewelry box pops out
Ooh.
into the little hole there.
I'll grab it and give it a nice open.
Inside is a gold ring with a black bird kind of expertly crafted onto it. A big black onyx stone set in the inlay.
Okay.
It is a ring of evasion. It has 3 charges that it regains daily at dawn. And it's
Okay.
when you fail a dexterity saving throw, you can use your reaction to expend one of its charges to succeed, not re-roll, but succeed on that saving throw instead.
Wow.
Wow.
Very cool item from D&D proper.
Nice. Wow. Very cool.
Also, I like that you just happen to get something that has an animal on it. Just staying very true to you. Very neat.
That's rad.
How about you?
I'm ready. I'm ready, Humphrey, though you continue to mystify me. I'm
Well,
ready.
I wouldn't be a great purveyor of mystery if I wasn't mystifying myself, I'm sure.
Everyone quit mystifying themselves.
How many sides does this coin have again?
I don't know how to answer that question, mostly because there's no objective truth. It has as many sides as you'd like for it to have.
If you had to choose kind of between D10 and D20.
It's a D20.
Oh, it looks like it's a D20. Okay.
It's a 20-sided coin.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. It was a real question he was asking.
Number 16 for your old pal Tassles.
Which is probably like a 25 or something.
Am I adding something to it?
No.
A family pack of Easy Mac from Costco will last you for months.
This is absolutely true.
You you wait and the wall doesn't do anything for a minute. And then you hear it kind of just like it makes like a sound, and you see that 1 second it wasn't there, but the next second there is a broom in the corner, like against the wall, just leaning up against the wall. It's old, it's kind of shitty looking, and it doesn't look like it's very good at sweeping. And it's just in the corner. It's like old, it's not particularly well made, and it's rather gross looking.
I'm staring at it and nodding, and I say, yes. I respect this broom.
Humphrey kind of just like gives like a little yeah, she's a feisty one. That is a tough one. That's a tough one, my friend, but very, very interesting. Very interesting that she chose you.
Excited to make her acquaintance.
Now take that damn broom and get out of my damn store. I'm just
All right,
kidding.
Humphrey.
Would anyone like a drink?
Farewell.
I'll have a drink, Humphrey. We've got to do some deals. We got to get these gems. We got to trade that in for gold with you. I think we've got a box of pelts we can sell to you as well.
Oh, I
have the
love
quality
new
pelts,
interesting
right?
Interesting items, great. He pours everybody like a thimble of honeyed mead.
Mm.
He says it's very powerful stuff, dragon mead. Don't drink it lightly.
I'll drink it heavily.
And he like After he pours you guys thimbles, he just starts drinking from the bottle. Everybody step right up. So he's gonna take some time. He'll go through and give you what everything is worth, like on the nose. He
Sure.
is not a guy to kind of like try and get profit. He just gives you what it says it's worth. So
Okay.
whatever I told you guys
He's
is
the
worth.
So-
evaluator of worth.
So I just marked 100 gold pieces from something, 500 gold pieces, and the gems. A total value of 1,500, 1,600 all day gold pieces.
Cool. Yeah. So just he takes all that stuff. So erase everything else from your inventory and give your party 1,600
Okay.
gold.
Cool.
Did that include the quality pelt set? Because I have those written.
No, I did not have that. You have those.
I have that, and I have the replica of the draconic cube still, I think.
Yes.
true?
Correct.
He looks at the draconic cube and he says, "This seems like a quest item. You're unable to sell this currently." He gives
But
it back.
it still has a weight attached to it in my inventory, which doesn't allow me to carry anymore. So I find it frustrating that it's a quest item and I can't get rid of it. Fucking Humphrey.
We've
We
all
take
had this
these pelts.
problem. I used to be an adventurer like you until I got too many of these damn boxes, and I retired.
Forever weighed down with these stones of Baron's Eye bullshit. Um, will you buy these quality pelts or not?
Give me those pelts. He grabs one of them. He puts it around him like a little
A shawl.
shawl.
Humphrey,
Yeah, he'll
you
give
look
you whatever
striking.
I said that was worth.
I don't remember.
I don't know that I had a number attached to it.
Yeah,
I
me
just had
either.
quality pelts.
It was
Cool.
It was early, so it couldn't have been that much gold.
Like 1,000 or like 900. You know.
You can tell it's starting to get a little bit late.
How much money do we get
For
For
the
what?
pelts.
for the pelts?
For the pelts?
We didn't know. Yeah.
He
Doesn't
gives you
say.
150 gold pieces.
Okay.
So should I
you
add
walk
that
down-
to the 1,600 you have, Zach?
Yeah, but should we just split that up between the
Yeah.
three of us?
Does Tassles have anything he wants to sell or anything he was thinking about buying?
Absolutely not.
So
Great.
I will.
Yeah,
We'll,
this is
we'll
the-
divvy up.
I reject the coins as well.
Okay.
Do you
So
did you pick up the broom?
I did pick up the broom. It's
Yeah.
in my left hand, and I'm kind
Cool.
of holding it so that it's, shrimpy little bristles are touching the ground, but I'm not like dragging it or pushing it. I'm sort of still keeping it relatively level with the ground.
Awesome.
if he's
it a
rejecting the
little respect.
coin, Clyde, you get 875, and I get 875.
Dude, nice. Does he sell stuff too, James?
He does, yeah.
What does he
There's
got?
a specific thing I'm looking for.
He can do specific things that you're looking for. What are you looking for?
Humphrey, this may
Yes.
sound strange.
Okay.
I'm looking for a sizable chunk of fool's gold.
Pyrite. I think I have
Indeed.
someone somewhere. He says, would you please excuse me for a moment? Would you leave the shop for just a moment?
Sure.
And
See you later.
close the door, wait a second, knock, and then open the door.
Do we all have to leave?
Yes.
Oh,
Get out.
Okay. All right.
I'll take my
Oh.
thimble with me.
He pours you another one.
Thank you.
So you guys leave.
Sweet.
You
Knock.
okay. Yep. And then the door opens and he's standing right in front of the door with like a huge lump of pyrite in his hand.
Yeah. How much for that sucker?
1 gold piece.
I give him the gold.
All right, get out of here, you scamps. Anybody need anything else? What's going on?
Yeah. Do you have any items, any wearable items that could increase my casting ability?
He points to the animal pelts. He goes, that might make you look cooler when you do a spell cast. That's pretty neat, huh?
That's pretty cool. I wish we hadn't sold those now.
How much gold do you have?
I have 1,735 gold.
I would say come back when you have more gold, is what I would say.
Oh, we're looking for expensive items.
If you're looking for something to help you with your spell casting, we're talking about big money, baby.
I have no concept of cash. Kind of like
I
Tassels.
walk out. I say thank you to Humphrey's nod, and I leave.
He blows
With
you a
this
kiss.
mission. I snatch it.
Bye,
Tassels,
Humpy.
are you stepping off of the front porch?
I have something to ask Humphrey. Sorry,
Yeah, he's
you were
like
kind of
starting to
saying.
close the door.
I know I said I wasn't going to buy anything, but I did have something to say to him.
He sticks his head out. Yes.
I said, Humphrey, watch this, if you will. And just beside him, I create a little sack of grain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I conjure the spitting image in reality of a sack of grain. And I say to him, behold my sack of grain. It, as you can tell, is magical and radiates a slight hue. You recognize this hue, of course, as a magical person yourself.
Indeed.
Do you know, and I'm kind of just looking around suspiciously, do you know if it's possible to train and control this hue to turn its magical essence on and off?
Yeah, these are some heavy questions you guys come around asking. It's pretty rude.
What do I?
The mead seems to have hit you a little harder than my
Perhaps.
much larger frame.
Perhaps, and in apology, come see me next time you're in town. I know I have a feeling you won't be in town for very long this time. Next
I do
time
live here now.
you return, when you return in a few weeks' time, you can come talk to me about this again.
What have you seen about the next few weeks?
Bye.
My sack of grain.
How do I train the grain?
Train the grain. Tassels, as you step off the front porch, you don't hit the ground right away. You like hover in the ground for a second, and then you touch the ground. After like a split second, you could swear that you were levitating.
Can I arcana that real quick just to see if I can identify it? Because
Yeah,
I know
baby.
I know what's happening.
Yeah,
honestly.
baby.
Oh, of course. +6, which is 19.
You like look at the broom, and you hear in your head,
It's
"Oh
me.
yes, oh yes, baby. We're going to get into so much trouble together, my sweet boy. You and I, we're going to get into so much trouble together. We're going to break a lot of hearts, you and I. Sweet Tartorius, take me away."
Got a sex broom.
I knew it. When I looked at the broom against the wall, I almost said out loud, Thaddeus. But
Why?
I didn't.
Oh, it's I don't know if I was making it very clear, but it is an incredibly effeminate voice. It is sounds like a woman. I understand that she sounds kind of similar to Thaddeus in
I feel like it
fact that
could be
I can't really
Thaddeus.
differentiate I can't really make my voice sound like that, but here we are.
I believe at this moment that Tassels thinks it's Thaddeus.
It's actually the spirit of Carl.
Gender be damned.
Yeah.
I think he absolutely believes it's Thaddeus.
Because no one else
Who's
knows your name,
Thaddeus?
really.
Yeah.
Who's
Thaddeus
Thaddeus?
is his mentor.
He's my mentor.
Oh.
Cool. So you guys wrap up for the day. It's been kind of a long day. I imagine you guys are going to your tents to sleep.
No shops would be open at this time, would they?
This is really the only shop in town that's set up. There are a couple stalls that do
I'm
stuff during
looking
the day.
for the woodworker at some point when she would be open
Oh.
and at her shop.
she's really just operating out of her tent. But yeah, she'd be
If it's
she'd be
not an
available in the-
appropriate time, then I wouldn't go to see her.
yeah, we're talking like late evening. Most people are sleeping, or
Okay.
you know.
I'll wait for an appropriate time and day.
I would like to burn my second spell slot of my level 3 spell and ride home on a giant elk. That is it.
Lovely.
I'm
All
just
right.
I'm practicing.
The next morning, you guys all wake up to a bit of excitement in the camp. You hear a little far off, but coming closer, you hear like herald horns, like trumpet blasts, kind of announcing the arrival of someone important.
I'm here,
you-
guys.
You guys skedaddle out of your tents and kind of look at each other, and you look. The rest of the town is all kind of over by the road leading from Belnora, and above the crowd is the unmistakable sigil of Clan Mudslinger. And that's where we'll end our session.
Yikers.
Uh-oh.